Good evening. Welcome to Election Night in America 2020. Tonight we have Vice President Joe Biden running against President Donald Trump, both vying to win the 2020 presidential election. Vice President Joe Biden served as Vice President under President Barack Obama from 2009 to 2017, and of course Donald Trump is the current incumbent president. We start off with our 7 p.m. poll closings with 60 electoral votes at stake. Coming out of the state of Virginia, a swing state, but Joe Biden wins regardless. Winning at the top of the hour, the 13 electoral votes from Virginia goes into the Joe Biden column. Vice President Biden will also carry the state of Vermont and its 3 electoral votes as expected. From the state of Kentucky, its 8 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump at the end of the evening. Donald Trump will also pick up his vice president's home state of Indiana with its 11 electoral votes. The 9 electoral votes from the state of South Carolina are too early to call. This does not mean that this state is too close to call, just we do not have enough information to make a characterization of this race at this time. And out of the state of Georgia, it is currently too close to call. 16 electoral votes at stake, a very closely watched swing state with excited African American turnout. On our current electoral map, we have 19 electoral votes for Donald Trump, who leads to 16 for Joe Biden. It is now time for our 7:30 p.m. poll closings from West Virginia, North Carolina, and Ohio, totaling up to 38 electoral votes. Out of the state of South Carolina, Donald Trump wins their 9 electoral votes, previously too early to call, now in the Republican column. The Republicans will also carry the state of West Virginia with ease, 5 electoral votes to add to the Donald Trump column. From the state of North Carolina, right above South Carolina, it is currently too close to call. Last one for the Democratic Party under President Barack Obama in the year 2008, 15 electoral votes at stake. Donald Trump leads. Donald Trump also leads in the state of Ohio, and it's 18 electoral votes. He leads by 0.2%. Looking at our current electoral map, a little bit more red, and 33 electoral votes for President Trump and 16 for Joe Biden. It is now time for the 8 p.m. poll closings with 172 electoral votes at stake, the most closely watched poll closing hour. Alabama, the 9 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. President Trump will also carry the state of Mississippi and its 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump, the clear winner in the state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes. Donald Trump, the projected winner from the state of Tennessee, their 11 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump at the end of the evening. From the state of Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes to add to the GOP column. And out of the state of Illinois, Joe Biden is the projected winner of their 20 electoral votes. Joe Biden will also pick up the state of Maryland and its 10 electoral votes. Out of the state of Delaware, the state he served as a senator from, their 3 electoral votes will go to him by an overwhelming margin. Out of the state of New Jersey, 14 electoral votes, Joe Biden the projected winner. Joe Biden will also carry the state of Massachusetts. If you remember, Senator Elizabeth Warren ran against Joe Biden in the Democratic primary, lost. Massachusetts is her home state, still overwhelmingly goes to Vice President Biden, 11 electoral votes. 7 electoral votes from the state of Connecticut will go to the Democratic column at the end of the evening, and Joe Biden will carry the state of Rhode Island, and its 4 electoral votes. Out of the state of Maine, Joe Biden will carry all 4 districts. This is the first flip of the evening from Maine's 2nd congressional district will now go to Joe Biden, flipping back from red to blue. Now, out of the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes, the most liberal part of the United States, Joe Biden is the projected winner. From the state of Pennsylvania, Joe Biden was born in the state of Pennsylvania, from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and right now it is too early to call. We do not have enough of precincts reporting in order to make any characterization in this race, but as of right now it is too early to call. 20 electoral votes. At the Sunshine State of Florida, it is currently too close to call. Joe Biden narrowly leads Donald Trump, 29 electoral votes, crucial every single election season. Out of the state of New Hampshire, it's an exact tie with 4 electoral votes at stake. Joe Biden has a handful of votes over Donald Trump, but a statistical tie between the two. And on our current electoral map, we have a lot more blue and a lot more red, totaling up to 76 electoral votes for Donald Trump, and now Joe Biden taking the lead with 92 electoral votes. It is now time for the 8:30 p.m. poll closings from the state of Arkansas, 6 electoral votes at stake, and as expected will land in the Donald Trump column at the end of the evening. 6 electoral votes, Donald Trump the projected winner. On our electoral map, Donald Trump now has 82 electoral votes, 10 behind Vice President Biden, and 92 electoral votes. It is now time for the 9 p.m. poll closings ranging from New York, all the way down to Arizona. 156 electoral votes at stake this time around. The state of South Dakota, 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. With South Dakota goes North Dakota with another 3 electoral votes to add to the Donald Trump column at the end of the evening. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Wyoming, the most Republican state in the union. Donald Trump, the projected winner. The 5 electoral votes from the state of Nebraska, all 5, will be allocated to the Republican column at the end of the evening. As of right now, Nebraska's 2nd district is solidly Republican. From the state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. And out of the state of Kansas, 6 electoral votes. Some Democrats thought that this might get close. They were wrong. Donald Trump is the projected winner by an overwhelming lead. In the state of Colorado, usually a swing state, not this time around. Joe Biden, the projected winner of their 9 electoral votes at the top of the hour. Another former swing state, the state of New Mexico, won to Hillary Clinton by 9%, going to Joe Biden by over 10%. Joe Biden wins their 5 electoral votes. From the state of New York, 29 electoral votes. President Donald Trump's home state. Vice President Biden will carry this state by an overwhelming margin. Now, the first flip for states, the state of Michigan, 16 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. This is the first flip of the evening from red to blue. President Barack Obama carried both of these in 2008 and 2012. That's both times. Another state flipping from red to blue, as expected, though. Joe Biden's home state. State of Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. Yet another state flipping from red to blue. State of New Hampshire, not a flip, but a closer race, now landing in a political party's column. 4 electoral votes from the state of New Hampshire going to Joe Biden. Hillary Clinton won this state back in 2016 by 2,000 votes, going to Joe Biden by well over 2,000 votes. In the state of Minnesota, 10 electoral votes, which was also close back in 2016, not close at all this time around. From the state of Wisconsin, it is currently too close to call. Joe Biden leads Donald Trump with 10 electoral votes at stake. That's a pretty substantial lead for Joe Biden. In the state of Arizona, Joe Biden's in an exact tie with Donald Trump, 11 electoral votes. Very, very close race. From the state of Texas, it is too early to call. This does not mean that this state is too close to call. With Joe Biden choosing Beto O'Rourke as his running mate, there's a reason why this state is too early to call and not called at the top of the hour, but it's still a race to watch that leans in the favor of the GOP. On our current electoral map, we have a lot more red up across the red wall here, with 104 electoral votes for Donald Trump and a large lead with Joe Biden at 185 electoral votes. And we now have our 10 p.m. poll closings with 21 electoral votes from 4 states: Montana, Utah, Nevada, and Iowa. The state of Utah, 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Montana, an interesting House election race here. 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump will carry this state. The state of Texas, a big win for Donald Trump. Not so much a swing state, but was closer than 2016 and 2018. 38 electoral votes to add to the Republican column. From the state of Nevada, it is currently too early to call with 6 electoral votes at stake. A traditionally Democratic state, now too early to call, not necessarily too close to call. Another state with 6 electoral votes, identical to Nevada, 6 electoral votes, too early to call. No leads yet. And on our current electoral map, we have most of the map filled in at this point. 157 electoral votes for Donald Trump, and Joe Biden remains the same at 185 electoral votes. It is now time for the 11 p.m. poll closings with 82 electoral votes coming from Hawaii, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and mostly California. The state of Idaho, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 4 electoral votes. No real surprise here. The state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes, definitely closer than 2016, but going into the Republican column regardless. Georgia will now go to President Trump. The state of California, however, will be going to Joe Biden with its 55 electoral votes, a very, very, very large state. Joe Biden is now the projected winner. Joe Biden will also carry the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes to land into his column, and the state of Oregon, 7 electoral votes to add to the Democratic Party's numbers, and the state of Hawaii, a pretty progressive state, still pulling ahead for the moderate Joe Biden, 4 electoral votes to land into his column. Now, on our current electoral map, right now we have a total of 7 swing states with 1 state outstanding, giving us 263 electoral votes for Joe Biden and 180 electoral votes for Donald Trump. The significance of Joe Biden's number is that he is now 7 away from the presidency of the United States. We now have time for our state calls from Nevada, Wisconsin, and North Carolina, with 31 electoral votes at stake from the 3 states. North Carolina, Donald Trump, the projected winner, last went to the Democratic Party in 2008. North Carolina, with its 15 electoral votes, will remain in the Republican column yet again. Interesting Senate race as well. The state of Ohio, Donald Trump is the projected winner, 18 electoral votes to add into his column. This state itself is typically a conservative state on both midterm and presidential election years. And the state of Wisconsin, Joe Biden, the projected winner, with its 10 electoral votes. Joe Biden, and we forgot to mention that Ohio was with the state calls, but has already been characterized as a Republican state. Joe Biden wins in the state of Wisconsin, and another win for Joe Biden out of another swing state. Wisconsin was a flip. Nevada is a hold. 6 electoral votes to remain in the Democratic column. And on our current electoral map, we have 2 more states in blue and 2 more states in red. However, we currently have Joe Biden at 279 electoral votes, which means that Joe Biden will go on to be the next president of the United States of America. He will be inaugurated in January of 2021 to be the 46th president of the United States of America with an incoming new administration. Joe Biden is 9 past the magic number of 270 electoral votes required to win the presidency. It is now time for our 1 a.m. poll closings and all of our state calls remaining. The state of Alaska, Donald Trump, the projected winner of their 3 electoral votes. No surprise here whatsoever. Out of the state of Arizona, however, much closer, with Beto O'Rourke campaigning heavily in the state, still remaining in the Donald Trump column at the end of the evening. 11 electoral votes, very narrowly going to the GOP. The state of Iowa, 6 electoral votes. No real surprise here, but expected to go into the Republican column. Still a swing state regardless. Donald Trump, the projected winner of their 6 electoral votes. And this one could come to a shock to many. The state of Florida, 29 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. This state was closed back in 2016. Still went to Donald Trump. Remained in the Republican column in the Senate, House, and governor elections back in 2018 in a Democratic wave year. Now going to Vice President Biden. 29 electoral votes remaining going into the Democratic column, which finalizes our electoral numbers at 230 electoral votes for the incumbent President Donald Trump and Vice President Joe Biden at 308 electoral votes to pass what Donald Trump got in 2016. And as you can see on the electoral map, we have 4 states that flipped: Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Florida, with Maine 2nd District flipping as well. And that wraps up this election night. Thank you guys for watching this video. This was another subscriber decided election night. I'm definitely going to be making my own election nights based off my own analysis of the races, but I do think that it's pretty interesting. If this was my own video, I probably would not have given Florida to the Democratic Party. I do think it still would narrowly go to Donald Trump, but over 66% of you guys said that Joe Biden would win in the state of Florida. I thought that this map would end up 278 to 260 based off the original numbers as of last night, except that they showed Arizona going to Biden and Wisconsin going to Trump. When I woke up this morning, the numbers definitely were different, but again, these are always really fun to make. Again, this is not my opinion. This is completely decided by you guys in the community tab. If you want to participate in the next one, which I probably won't be doing for maybe a week or so, but be sure to be able to check the community tab regularly. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.